Meet Daryl Blount. Mr. Blount is a nonprofit executive. He is immensely proud of the impact that Juice Plus and Tower Gardens has made in his community as well as in his family. Join us every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the Hicks Sister Zoom call. Ask for the password. Thank you so much for coming to the call. My name is Adrian Hicks, and I am from New York, Bronx, New York, but I am here in Raleigh, North Carolina now, and we are here every single Saturday, rain, snow, shine. We are just so excited for this call, and you see how amazing the Tower Gardens are. So if you're not familiar with the company is called Juice Plus, and they have phytonutrient products and shakes, which are their number one sellers, and the Tower Garden is right behind it. And so I would like to call our amazing host, Beverly and Johnny GQ Grandison. Beverly has helped probably every last one of us that are reps and customers on this call in half of the United States. And so we are honored again to have Beverly and GQ as one of our regular hosts. And without further ado.
Thanks, Adrian. Thank you. Guys, I know there's new people on the call, and so that is why we do this call, because it's so, for us, so important that you took some time out of your busy schedule to just check us out and see what we do. How much money you make or have, or how much makeup you work out. Without your health, what good is any of that, right? So really, what this community is all about is educating and empowering, inspiring, really just ensuring that you get in the driver's seat of your health. That's why I can stay so happy in spite of any challenges that come my way. I'm able to be in this amazing positive energy community that keeps me on target to really continue inspiring and helping people even through the trials, right? But do you know the people that you come in contact with every day? Do you care about them enough to open your mouth to say, hey, I found something that's working well for me and would love to share that with you. Would love to connect you with someone that can even tell you more about it. It's really that simple, y'all. This is a $52 a year franchise. Yeah, $1 a week. That's it. And I'm telling y'all, this is the best investment yearly that we could have ever made in our lives. Seriously. This has been one of those supplemental incomes that keeps giving month after month because of the people that we've been able to lock arms over these years. And I've been with the company now. Next month will be 16 years. We have been on with this company 16 years. This is a 50-year-old company. Longevity, authenticity, approachability. Like Adrian said, yes, we have impacted many lives globally at this point now. And that's really exciting because we want you to be able to feel comfortable, loved, cared for, knowing that we're just people just like you are, right? The only difference between us and the brand new partner on this line or potential looking at our company, checking us out, is that we've just spoken to more people, right? And we have, stepped outside of our way and outside of our comfort zone to say, hey, will you take a look? People want to take control of what they grow. And you heard Adrian mention the Juice Plus company. That's the umbrella company. I want you as parents, as grandparents, to start giving that legacy of health to your family.
All right. So again, thanks for allowing us to be here in your homes. Many people that are on this call, and many of us who are being in for a while, we came through different elements, or we call it into the doors of the company. And for us, it was actually the Juice Plus product, as Beverly kind of mentioned. Whereas, we had some issues, some medical issues going on. And even in the hospital, they pretty much said, hey, we got some drugs you want us to take, and it's only a 50-50 chance either of them might work. And it was through some neighbors who said, hey, you can beat this based in your diet. Just eat more fruits and vegetables and get it out with our white processed foods that are causing inflammation. And you can probably beat this. And so that was, kind of how we got, thrust into this whole health situation. Even now with my medical challenges, I had just given some blood work, and when it was time for my follow-up visit, Beverly suggested I get a copy of all my previous blood work, which I had never done before. And as I sat there looking at the old blood work, I had all these highs and lows all over the place. And in about 45 days of just being on the Juice Plus product, all those highs were down in the range and all the lows were up in the range. And so as we started making some lifestyle changes and other, it was just showed a lot of improvement. As Beverly said, we don't make any health claims, but we just know that there's the power in whole food nutrition. And so as we've done this for the last 15, 16 years, we constantly just share our stories and help people right where they are. And in 2012, they actually introduced the Tower Gardens. And that was a great way of where we were already helping people take control of their health. We now gave them an opportunity to help take control of their food source. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera around so you can actually see a Tower Garden Flex, which was the original Tower Garden, where it came with a 20-gallon reservoir down at the base. And there's a pump that actually pushes the water and the nutrients up through the center of the tower, and then showers the roots as it comes back down. And so here we have a variety of lettuces and shards, and some chives and some romaine, and we just got some seedlings in. So you see those up into the baby green section of the tower, along with some kales and other things, Cherokees. And then over here, we have the Tower Garden Home, which is the newest model. It actually has a 13-gallon reservoir at the base. Too has a pump that pushes the water up, and where it has 16 full-size ports, it comes with 16 microgreen ports. In both of the towers, you can actually add accessories, and here we added additional 32 microgreen ports, which gives this tower actually 64 ports for which we can actually grow produce. You see some of the pak choys and Swiss chards and arugulas and some of the other seedlings we just put in. And of course, we were just about to eat dinner, so that's some of the salads that we actually pulled off of the tower with the lettuces and the chives and some of the other things. I think there's some pak choy and some chard in there as well. And so I'm about to take you outside now, where I can show you the tower, because those were indoors inside of our dining room. The ones I'm taking you to now are actually out on our deck, and so it allows you to grow year-round and without soil. And so here you actually see. We have a pop-up greenhouse, which pretty much kind of stops the wind because I'm in Southern Virginia, so it's still pretty cool out here tonight. But we have some additional pak choy here. You can see some more top. You see some of the kales. And these were the seedlings we put in back in late January. So they're starting to come up. You see some of the tomatoes, the squash, the zucchini on this backside. You see some more of the squash. You see the flowers actually starting to come up. Tomatoes are actually starting to get their blooms as well. And on this side, we have more kale. We have like 5 different types of kale. This is a Tuscan or Dino kale and some green curly kale, some more shards and some basil. You kind of see on the other side. I'm going to come out so people can see the tower. The pop-up greenhouse is a 6x10 plastic greenhouse, which pretty much comes in a box and just pops out with rubber bands. And on this other side, you see some more of the kales and the collard greens, and that was just a beautiful bouquet, more or less. Some of the Swiss chard is coming up with the colors. For those that saw the Swiss chard a little while ago, that plant over there, they were just inches tall 2 weeks ago, and you see they kind of bolted up. And so here's just another array of being able to see the tower from the opposite side. So we actually have 4 towers now in this particular greenhouse. As the weather warms up, we'll actually take them out. But you can see how rich the plants actually are. And you can grow a variety of plants on the same tower at the same time with so much less space. And this is something you can do indoors, outdoors, and year-round. The next time you see us, we'll probably be doing her tower garden with strawberries that she wants. But it's just a great way of you being able to take control of your health and your food source. So get back with the person who invited you, and just have fun with the experience. Thanks a lot for having us on.
I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me and giving me an opportunity to show why I have just fallen in love with this company and why I've fallen in love with Tower Gardening. It was 3 years ago that I was introduced to whole food concentrates, and I started eating them every single day, and I started feeling better within a matter of weeks. And the changes that I saw take place, not only in my own body, but in every single body in my household. All of my families started just having better rest, better experiences in working out and recovery. And really, after a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, we really started seeing that we were stepping away from needing some of the prescriptions that we were on. And that was what opened our eyes to the power of plants and the wonderful gift that we've been given with the ability to grow our own food and to take our health journey even further. So what I'm excited to show you today are the 2 towers that I have inside, and then I'm going to step outside and show you the towers that I have outside. And so the same as Johnny and Beverly, we have the Tower Garden home on the inside. And I have a lot of my herbs right here, steps away from my kitchen. And so I can show you that we have the cilantro, rosemary, thyme, dill, fennel, chives. I've really learned more and more about the power of healing in plants. So I've added things like lavender, echinacea, chamomile. Dandelion here. I'm so happy with the dandelion. And then when I can take this plant out and it has these beautiful, fresh, clean dandelion roots that I can dry and then just add to my food. I'm really excited about that. This also was just a beautiful surprise. This is a calendula. I've never grown it before inside, but look at what it's able to do. And back here we have some parsley, and this is more fennel, and this is 2 different types of lavender. And I was also inspired to put my bell peppers inside, since so many of the tower gardeners on this call do so. And so I'm really excited to have that just right outside of my kitchen. This tower is the Tower Garden Flex. And during the colder months, I added the lights as an accessory so that I could start the plants that I'm preparing to move outdoors. So these plants are my marigold, and I love this. This one is called a bee attractant. And so this is bringing bees and butterflies to your tower garden to help keep it growing nice and healthy, and eliminating the need for any type of bug spray or repellent. I don't use anything like that. Everything is completely natural. Here's another bloom from the plants inside. And these collards are looking just beautiful. And my tomato plants, all of them are letting me know that we really need to move them on outside within the next couple of weeks so that these blooms can get pollinated.
Lori, I
love this.
saw your tower garden turned on.
Yes, it sure did. I put on the earplugs. Did you want me to show you the water?
Yes,
You guys could see that the water, it is self-watering, and it just thinks that's so cool. So you can set it and forget it. While I was actually sitting here, the lights went off because it's almost bedtime for this household. So you can see the water comes up and just drops right down. I love that the timer, everything just takes care of itself. I'm going to show you what we have going on outside. And I really have fallen in love with spring gardening and summer gardening, but this was the first winter that I just grew all year long because I found what grew really well in this area with little extra need of anything other than a heater, a fish tank heater placed in the tank and set to 75 degrees was perfect for this area. So these 2 towers grew all the way through the winter gardening at its finest. And I was able to eat all through the year. Here are my kale, and check out this celery. Look how beautiful that is for juicing. It smells so fragrant. Here's Swiss chard. And I'm gonna grab this light here. And there's Bubba Jr. coming along fine, some more kale. I've really fallen in love with kale, so you're gonna see that on all of my towers. The pansies are edible. I've started using them in more salads and recipes. And the violas, the pansies, all of the flowers that you see, and the marigolds. And this is my winter garden that continued to grow. I have more celery and kale, and cabbage is there, kale. Here's my pansies. And then I feel as though this is a bumper crop up here of microgreen kale. I put the microgreen extension on the top and loaded it with kale seedlings and red kale and green kale. And we harvest from that and continue to eat every single day. We have more collards, red leaf lettuce. We also have some spring onions. So I think that's just, and then stay tuned. Seedlings are on the way and we will be filling up that tower. You guys, this has been one of the best investments on our health journey, and we certainly love doing it as a family. And thank you so much for always meeting together and inspiring us gardeners to do better. Thanks for having me.
To grow your own food, it's better than from farm to table, or from, it is literally from your garden, your living room, your dining room to table. And so we just are so excited about this business.
Cool. Thanks for having me on again. Wanted to share with you guys a couple of different things that we've been doing here in Columbus, Ohio. Adrian always asks me to share about some of the alternative places besides homes that we have. And so I'm not sure if you have any videos coming up for today, but one in particular, I've been working this past week with a place called Kemper House of Worthington, where we're combating the effects of Alzheimer's and dementia using nutrition. Traditionally, there's a lot of us that bring tower gardens into our homes. Personally, I brought it into my classroom, our Alzheimer's and dementia residents over at our assisted living here in Columbus, Ohio.
We're here at the Kemper House in Worthington. It's a senior housing provider specializing in Alzheimer's and other memory debilitating conditions. I'm here with Executive Director Dan Thorward. Dan, talk to us a little bit about this wonderful community and how you're enriching the lives of your residents.
Sure, absolutely. Well, welcome. I'm glad you could be here today. The Kemper House is devoted to trying to find a way to push back against Alzheimer's disease through lifestyle, healthy eating, exercise, and then the physical plant of the building itself, how we can design a space that's really conducive to someone with memory care needs. And we try to put all that together into one package, and that is what we call the Kemper difference.
And I noticed in your community room, you had a little event going on in teaching your residents. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, absolutely. You're never too old to learn. And people sometimes assume that folks with memory care issues don't want or can't learn new skills. And that's absolutely not true. We use everything we can to help leverage the cognition of our residents. So today, for example, we're constructing an indoor garden. We often will take trips to the farmer's market to select food with the chef, with our residents. But here today, we're actually going to talk about growing healthy food here that we can actually have the residents grow, pick, and then with the chef prepare and eat together family style.
Iterate what that video was showing. We use it as a socialization tool. We also take the produce, and you heard this phrase used before, tower to table, which is actually even better and fresher than local produce, because when it comes down to it, local isn't really regulated. Many times your local produce in a grocery store might travel 400 miles and still be considered local. So I'm here in Columbus, Ohio, and if your food is grown in Chicago and transported all the way to Ohio, then it can still be considered local. So this is even better. We are seeing some great results with just the mindset of our residents, and also the effects of Alzheimer's and dementia being, in many cases, reversed with just the activities and the nutrition that they're getting from that. So Adrian also always asked me to share about the Ronald McDonald House, because we also have some tower gardens over there. So we have a bunch of kids that are benefiting from that nutrition that are on site, that are permanent or temporary residents as well. But if you want to know more about how we use it in schools, then you can certainly reach out to the person who invited you to this call, because we have about 7,500 plus schools in the US alone that now have tower gardens serving their students.
I just also wanted to invite you guys too. This is, so some of you know my former background is in the classroom. I used to teach anatomy and physiology, environmental sciences, chemistries, and bios. And for those of you who are connected with education, right now is the perfect time to be talking to schools. So now is the time to be planting some seeds with teachers, pun intended. I've been working with one of my recent new reps here, who's actually on the call. Shout out to Pam here with my State Farm Insurance person. She's actually partnering with me to talk to local schools around the area so we can get more kids connected with Tower to Table. So thanks for having me.
And when we say come join us, we mean come join us. It's an honor to have him as the guest speaker.
A man with a servant's heart for sure, loves the Lord, like mind, like heart. And I will tell you, we are honored to have him on this call, grateful that we are working together to inspire healthy living. And he'll tell you his story. I'm excited to hear him all the time, every time he speaks, because he is really making a significant difference with he and his family. So I just wanted to give you that shout out, Daryl, and you can take it away from here.
Thank you so much, Beverly. Thank you so much. And Adrian and Sunday, thank you all for having me. I'm grateful to be here. In fact, when Edie said earlier about Saturday Night Live, that's the kind of feeling. I said, when you invited me, felt like I just got invited to Saturday Night Live and Oprah Winfrey is going to be the host. So that's the kind of feeling it came across. And I've known Beverly and Johnny since they were in diapers and watched them grow up and all that kind of stuff. But I seriously, when they came into the company 16 years ago, I met them at a boot camp in Atlanta. And we have been friends ever since. And not only do we get to do business together, we get to do life together. And so I'm grateful for them and Lori and Everton and several others that are friends on this call and listening in. And just welcome all of you all and grateful to be here with you. As Beverly said, the Juice Plus company has been in business going on 51 years. I've been with Juice Plus, associated with them for 32, going on 33 years. And I am grateful to be a part of that. It's all been a great journey. And it's been part-time. I've enjoying a great professional career, and I'll just share a little bit more about that shortly. But first of all, I just want to tell you a little bit about us, me. Here's my family on the left side with this first picture. Starting down at the bottom, my son Matthew, if you can see in the picture, it's literally 35th. That was when we celebrated his 35th birthday, and then next to them are myself, my son-in-law Christian, my son Daniel, and my son Jordan. We were at the golf course on a Saturday morning. And then right above them is we were having dinner, Daniel, Victoria, my daughter, my youngest child, and my daughter, and Kelly, and Madison in between my granddaughter and Christian. And I'll just share with you all some news. Madison is with us over here tonight because Kelly's expecting and she started having contractions today. So we're about to have another Blount brow join the family. And so there's Madison when she was a baby, sitting on the floor and what have you, looking up. And then also, I've got a picture of my tower garden. That's a part of my family. I probably hug that tower garden more than I hug my family and kids and stuff like that. So tower garden has been a part of us. Also, I've always been someone interested in sports. I love sports. And here you see a shot of the Falcons in Mercedes-Benz Stadium down below, up top, shot from the Atlanta Braves Stadium. My son Daniel and I went to, I think it was a playoff game. And we've also been to the Atlanta United's game in the Dome. And sometime in my spare time, when you get us some time, go out to the thing and hit some golf balls or shot of fishing off the pier down at Tybee Island. Love that. And then every year, the first weekend in February, I do a race called the Christ Tybee Run Fest. And I do the 2.8 mile beach run walk. And so you can see a couple of shots where we're walking the beach back to the finish line, and you see the finish line. And I've done that every year except when this year, because they postponed it, but because of COVID, they didn't cancel it, still will have it in the fall. And so also you see a picture of my tower garden. I've become got into this thing of gardening and what have you. I grew up with an agricultural background. My dad was an agronomist, soil chemist, a professor at Fort Valley State College, Fort Valley State University, and who had one of the best agricultural departments in the United States of America. Graduated a number of young men who have gone on all over the country and around the world in academia, research, and agriculture. But we all kind of America used to be an agrarian economy where we all grew up on farms, and that kind of changed over time. And in a sense, we're kind of going back in that direction. So then also, I like to cook some of those vegetables we harvest. And you see I have my griddle, called my Blackstone griddle. It's like 36 inches wide and 24 inches deep. And you can see all the different vegetables we got on there for using that to cook. So here, you mentioned about Juice Plus, and I've got a picture, and this is right next to my bed. Every day when I wake up, I see my Juice Plus. And you can see there the omegas, the vegetables, the fruit, and then the berries, and see the components in there for those who are guests on the call. And so those are there because that's the first thing I look at. I have some water to use, and I'm going to take those as soon as I get up because I want to start my day in the right way. Also, you see to the other side, my towers. Let me go back and say something about Juice Plus. Juice Plus this month, 28 years ago, this month, the month of March, 1993, Juice Plus was introduced to us as a distributor force, a team, and then we turned around and then introduced that to the country and started to share it with our friends and family. And so 28 years ago this month, this product was introduced, and it has been a game changer, not only for this company, but for the communities that we live in, for us personally, in terms of taking what is done for our health. All my children, all 5 would take Juice Plus. My son, Matthew's oldest. Matthew suffered a head injury when he was 8 months old, and it caused developmental delays. It took away his sight in terms of he became legally blind. He can see, he has some peripheral vision, what have you. But the reason I share that is because he had these kind of characteristics where he would not eat it. Everything, touching everything is very sensitive. So he would only eat something that was fried. If it wasn't fried, French fry or whatever, fried okra or something, he would not touch it. But lo and behold, if we put some grapes or something there, carrots, he wouldn't touch that. But we started giving him in the early days what was called the first round of Juice Plus chewables. And he took those chewables and we'd give it to him and give it to him. Now he eats all kinds of fruits and vegetables, carrots, anything that you put with it is fruits and vegetables. So I can tell you personally from personal witness what this has done just for my family. The company has this Healthy Family Starts program, a Healthy Starts for Families program, and where an adult can sponsor a child that's age 4, between age 4 and college, and they can get the product for free for 4 years as long as an adult taking that product. And we're looking at a long-term survey to see what's the impact on children's health of taking this product. Well, without that study, I can tell you personally that my kids have taken that, taken Juice Plus pretty much all their lives. And the only thing they go to the doctor for at that time was checkups. Annual checkups. It wasn't these earaches and nose running and all this kind of stuff that you see keeping kids out of school. That didn't happen. In fact, one year, Daniel, Jordan, and Matthew got perfect attendance. And Kelly missed, I think, one day of school and another day just because we asked her to stay home with Victoria when she was a baby. But that has happened, and that was our experience growing up and with them. And so Juice Plus is just a powerful thing. So also, as Johnny said, the towers were introduced in 2012. And we have 4 of them. Started off because I was with the company then. I was in a leadership role where I could buy the tower as soon as they introduced it. I did, bought the first one. First customer I had was my next customer besides myself being my own best customer. You always want to be your first customer, your best customer. And then was my sister, and she bought one. And so she bought one, and then we've gotten 2 more Flex. These are Tower Guard Flexes they've mentioned, Lori's mentioned, the Grandisons have mentioned, and we've got 4 of them. And so I'm going to show you another picture. Here's all those towers in the back, those 4 towers. And I'm holding up a kind of a piece of paper. You can see this like a legend. And this is what we have, the different 4 towers. One is we call a chef tower, and that's on the Tower Guard website. A salad tower, a salsa and smoothie tower, and then a stir fry tower. So we grow the different types of things on there that you can have for the food we'd like to consume. Now those towers, you notice my towers are tall. So they all have dollies, so we can move them. They all have cages, but they also have a regular extension on them. So a tower comes with 5 sections when you buy it without the extensions. So it has 5 sections. That's got 20 growing ports. We bought the other extensions with 2 sections to give you other 8 growing ports. And then we bought this micro greens extensions when those came out. So each tower is equipped with a microgreens, 32 slots for that, and 28 on the other. So each tower it's a total of 240 growing slots. We have high capacity pumps in those. You can get those high capacity pumps through the company. And so that's what's growing, and that's what you see there. And you see different things. We see how we have them labeled. We have, in fact, with this paper, we've got it, how we keep up with everything. We labeled everything and have them. And then you even see Madison as she's grown up with this stuff, and she's been out there helping with it. She's learning. So we're exposing her at a young age to gardening, tower gardens, what it means, Juice Plus. She's been taking it since she was in the womb. And so she came out very healthy baby, and she's continued to do that. She's grown. She's 4.5, almost 5 now. And so anyway, it's just been a blessing in terms of what it's done for us. Here's some of the things you see on the tower. Like you see when we first did it, we labeled like the number 1 up there in the corner, and different types of plants. You see some squash and zucchini, and then those some different greens we harvested off. Best cucumbers you've ever tasted and want to taste. Other plants, arugula. You see these tower garden sides of that, not the tower, but again, that zucchini and what have you. Just keep that in mind, because I'm going to show you what we did with that. And so different types of vegetables and what have you on our towers. Here's me. When we first got started with this, I was kind of like the financier. Let me just go back a time. I was kind of like, let's do this. I got it, but my kids really they grew up in the city. None of them have grown up on a farm, agriculture background, but they took to these tower gardens. They loved the tower gardens, and they got involved in that, and they put it together, got it up and running, the plants and all that. And it was just a learning thing for us. So I was kind of the financier. Dad provides the money, and they're doing the muscle and the labor and the head work and what have you. So, but this time, last year particularly, I've been involved, but last year was when I really kind of jumped in totally and myself in terms of taking the lead on with the tower gardens and stuff like that. So I'm growing some seed in here and putting those in there and getting those ready. We buy seedlings from some of our different approved growers. You see some other stuff there. And then to the right, you see that's zucchini. We have some zucchini, some round ones and some other ones, that's long ones that grew so really nicely and large. We cut them in half. My sister actually took those and cut them in half. And then we stuffed it, put it with carved it out, and then put some different vegetables and different things in it, baked it. And you're talking about something that's really tasty and nice and healthy. That was just very, very enjoyable. Here's, so now we got 4 tower garden flexes here, the tower garden homes, the inside ones with the lights. This is my son-in-law, Christian, just putting this together just a week or so ago, because we got those. He's there in a two-bedroom townhouse apartment. And so they want to be able to grow those things right in there. And then again, have that experience with Madison. Here's a tower garden home that I purchased, and a picture of it sitting right there, kind of my bedroom, and with the lights and things. So I made sure I got mine before we got back ordered on these lights and what have you. Here's a friend of mine, and here's the importance of longevity. That's one of the values of Juice Plus, longevity. 50 years, 51 years almost in business. Well, this is one of my best friends growing up. He and his wife, I've known both of them since we were young. We used to play pickup football in the backyard, pick up basketball, and he had a court at his yard. His name is Eric Simmons and Charlene Singleton. And they've been married a number of years. I've known them all this time, and just staying in touch and getting back in touch. He retired at 60 and came back home to Atlanta from Ohio, worked in the system of the criminal justice system up there, and came back home. And so we have reconnected here in Atlanta and talked and what have you. And I talked to him about the business and this, what have you, but staying in touch, just maintaining that friendship. So one time, just recently, back in February, before Valentine's Day, I posted my box of those, my tower garden home that I just purchased. And almost immediately, he called me. And Charlene had been telling him, I want one of those. Daryl's got those tower gardens. I want one. And so he called me immediately and said, how much this thing, what's the investment on this? I'd like to get one for Charlene, and I'm going to surprise her for a Valentine's Day with this. And so they did. And so that's one of my latest customers. And then they put the plants, the seedlings they got, they put the plants there, they started growing them in their tower. I think Charlene came home one day. They did that on kind of a Saturday, came home on a Monday, wanted to know, have the plant sprouted yet? Have they start growing out? And so it takes a little bit more time than that, but they're pretty excited. That's one of the beauties of this whole thing, is that the excitement you can create for people individually when they get this thing. It's just like a unique experience that you really enjoy. You can see the enthusiasm that comes through with Johnny and Lori as they talk about their towers and all the things that got on it. They are happy and excited about that. And I understand why, and exactly. This couple is experiencing that. And that's just great. That's what we want. We want to put smiles on people's faces. Each of us can reach somebody. There are people in our circle of influence that we can reach if we just patient, not push our agenda, but just expose them. A lot of what we do, what I feel I do, is really just what I call prospecting and promotion. It's not a sales business. Sales is a transaction that happens, but it's staying in relationship with people, and then just subtly where you expose them to things, and they will buy and do things at their time. That some of that will happen right away. Some of it will take longer. Some of it may take years, but it will happen. Some of them may not buy, but at least they can get more educated on what this can do and the whole point of this sustainable agriculture. Here's a shot where we donated a tower to Madison's child care center called Sheltering Arms Center that was in East Point. And so the family support director there had come across Tower Guards a few years earlier. Somebody had talked to her about it, but kind of the conversation went dry. And one day she was talking to Kelly, but I was thinking, and I hadn't even had a conversation with Kelly about this, but I was just thinking, it'd be nice to donate something just to expose the kids, especially where Madison is going to school, to the Tower Garden, and let them see that and get that experience. And so I mentioned the idea to Kelly, and she was talking to LaTanya, the director, or that family support person, and she said, I have been looking for this. And so that was an opportunity for us to match that up, and we made that donation to them. And so that was that. And then here's where the second picture in the middle with Daniel and Jordan, we went back and assembled it with the lights and put it together for them, gave them the curriculum material, all that kind of stuff that comes that they can get. And then here's another picture of that tower. This was right up before Christmas, 2019, and we're standing around just taking a picture with those things. You see the dollar, so they can move that around. They can move it indoors, around the indoor, but they can also take it outside if they want to. And then here's the director and then family support person around that tower. So they have that, and that was just a good feeling to be able to donate to them. So I will close and finish up by just saying, I, as well as we, look to the future. I'm looking up, but the future is in front of us. But it's also what we do today is going to affect that. So, my focus is about healthy living. I have just really focused on my health. Grew up learning some bad eating habits, gained a tremendous amount of weight over the years, played football in high school, college, on scholarship, could have gone into the NFL, but I let that go. I just decided to go into graduate school. But you working in corporate America, and then in a position as a nonprofit executive, you spend a lot of time behind desk and traveling and hotels and eating out and everything. And so before you know it, you look up and say, wow, what happened here? How did I get here? And so conscientiously, I made a decision, hey, I've got to look the part. I've got to change my diet. I want to be around for the grandkids that I want. My dad died at 68, my mom at 69, my brother at 64, my best friend at 64. And so I've lost some people that are just so dear to me because of these chronic diseases. And I say, Daryl, you know better, you've got to do better. And so I committed to walking and the shred program and lifestyle changes and all the things that I needed to do to start to get that. And I can tell you a happy result. I've dropped 104 pounds. I still got about another 90 I want to take off. And you do the math. And so to me, it's about personal responsibility for my health, not the government, not somebody else, not my doctor, but it's Daryl's choice to do what Daryl needs to do every day. There are other folks who help you, doctors can advise you and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, we make those choices. And those choices determine the actions we take, those actions determine the habits we develop, and those habits determine our destiny. And we're all about inspiring healthy living around the world. And we want If you feel inspired by what we're sharing and my message and other messages, the great message you heard, then think about it. Get involved. Get involved. You can get involved referring people. You can get involved as a customer for your own self, which is great. You can get involved as a partner. We'd love to have you. We teach you, show you what to do. This is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple to understand, and you can get your mind around it, and you can do this. So thank you again for having me, for sharing, for giving me the opportunity to share for a few minutes. I really appreciate that, and appreciate Adrian, Sunday, Johnny, Beverly, Lori, Everton, and everybody who's on this call. Thank you very much.
We always want to end with, we are all different races, all different denominations, all different backgrounds, and we are all doing this all together. We want everyone. This is a whole, we are the world. We got doctors, lawyers, entertainers, we average people like myself, that we all have one common goal, and that is to get as healthy as we possibly can and show and share and help other people get as healthy as they possibly can. And so we want you to come back next Saturday, and we want you to come back with a guest. And again, most people know you're going to have to log in pretty early because we do max out a lot. The call only holds 100 people, and we want to keep on maxing out. We want to grow and we want to share. And with that, as you say, we're going to unmute you, Marla, or can you guys unmute? So iPhone said, I'd say we're all green. Yes, we are all green. And again, get with the person that invited you to the call.